Okay, just an update farm. So we still have cleanup from the ice storm. Keep having all these new branches falling down all the time. We have some that are still pretty sketchy if the wind blows. We're still in some bad shape. We really need a bucket truck to get over here and help us out. That's a tarp. I've got it over here, so I am going to use it. We're getting these beds filled up with good compost. Look at those limbs. That's so sketchy. Some of these are still pretty sketchy. I really wanted the shade, so my husband was really trying hard not to trim too many of them. So we still have that. We still have that to do. Need to empty all these tubs, get them moved, get this cleaned up. This is still a huge mess. We're gonna just bend these back into shape, kind of sweep out, or rake out, I should say. Rake out all the leaves and the twigs and get this area tilled. I'm gonna use this area again next year. Then I'm going to clean all this up, get all the fencing taken down. Because, you know, right before the ice storm, I still had tomato plants. I still had peppers growing. I still had all kinds of stuff growing. And sometimes here in Oklahoma, your season can go clear up into the end of November. So I never want to take stuff out if it's still producing food. And, yeah. So I got these two well-established sage plants transferred into here for right now. Hopefully over the winter we can get some raised beds built. I don't know. It just all depends on materials, but it is in the plans. Hopefully we'll get a lot of this fencing rolled up and get all this damage cleaned up, get all these buckets emptied, get the ground ready, get everything ready for this next season. I have 14 families signed up for the weekly food co-op. I am sold completely out. That is enough because it's just my husband and I. So thankful we didn't lose all this. I really figured that was going to go. I mean, it was hanging clear down to the ground. And look, I really didn't get much damage. There was just a little bit of bending on that fencing, but that's nothing. Easy fix. We can bend the fencing. It does not have to look gorgeous. And this whole area right here can be cleaned up. And I'll probably move this feed trough to a different area and take that old bed out. Just go ahead and just take it out and start over. I know eventually we'll have beds made. You can tell I'm a housewife. We will get beds built in the future. It just all depends on building materials and such. So here's kind of the update, kind of showing just the garden area. And it's so nice right now. I'm out here working on this right now. And then I'll just stay up late at night and get the homemade Christmas gifts done. I will post videos. I have about 15 videos to upload. Yeah, I really wish AT&T would help us out and give us a high-speed internet out here. It would really make my life easy. I could upload a couple videos a day, probably 2 or 3. But a lot of my problem is I don't video a lot of stuff we do because I can't get it all uploaded. And it's really hurting my channel. And I'm at the point where I don't care. I'm just trying. And I'm not really, I guess I'm at the point where who cares about the 1,000? Who cares about getting monetized? Who cares about all that? I have made some incredible friends on YouTube, and that's good enough for me. And if I can just share my knowledge, I'm fine. I'm good. Because it's just not in the cards for me. I don't have the internet to get to that point. So, oh well. All right, you guys. It's so nice. I'm just trying to get this cleaned up. I've already got several tubs emptied. I've been a busy bee, as some of my friends call me. Mary Lou calls me busy bee. So do a couple other of my friends. So all of these are too full for me to lift. So my husband's going to get them with the tractor. And I'm thinking I'm going to talk to him and see if we can just dig up these blackberries and move them, because it's just a nightmare. Look at that. I mean, I've trimmed them. Well, he trimmed them back last year, most all of them. And the Bermuda just takes over, and it's a huge mess. So now I have this little shed back here to put all those trays that were laying down here. And we'll get holes drilled in those tubs, get them washed out, and we'll get new soil for this next season. And just big changes on the farm. And we still got leaves and stuff on the fruit trees and on my elderberries. So I'm still waiting to take cuttings. I have some people that are going to get cuttings from me, and I have to wait till they're dormant. They're not quite dormant. So y'all have a blessed day. It's Wendy at Hardneck Farms.